The hallway was crowded and loud as always, the air thick with the noise of slamming lockers, half-finished conversations, and rushed footsteps. But amid the chaos, one girl moved with quiet precision. Her name was Jordan, 16 years old. Tall, athletic, but rarely noticed. She didn't crave popularity. She wasn't loud or flashy. She just wanted to survive high school like it was another battlefield. And for her, it often was. Jordan was new to Rivergate High. Having transferred only 2 months ago after her dad, a military officer, was relocated. It wasn't her first time being the new kid, but Rivergate was different. Here, popularity wasn't earned, it was inherited, and the throne belonged to the football team. At the top of that food chain stood Dean Whitmore, team captain, linebacker, and the poster child of toxic charm. Dean was feared, worshipped, and untouchable. His friends Brett and Kyle were no better. Jordan noticed quickly that they picked on anyone who didn't play along, girls who didn't flirt, boys who didn't laugh at their jokes. Teachers were either scared or complicit. Most students had learned to look away. Jordan, however, didn't. She had learned not to tolerate bullies. Her dad taught her discipline. Her mom, who passed away when Jordan was 10, had taught her strength. Her weekends at the dojo had taught her what to do when someone put their hands on her, but still, she tried to lay low. She didn't want drama, she just wanted peace. But peace didn't last. It started with accidental shoulder checks in the hallway. Then came the comments, "Hey, army brat." Dean would yell, "You sure this school ain't too soft for you?" His buddies laughed like trained hyenas. Jordan ignored it. She told herself it would pass, until the Friday of homecoming week. Had stayed late after class helping a teacher with supplies. When she stepped into the hallway, it was mostly empty. Her footsteps echoed against the lockers as she made her way to the exit. That's when she heard it. "Hey, where do you think you're going?" She turned to see Dean, Brett, and Kyle walking toward her. Their eyes gleamed with mischief, their strides slow and deliberate. She tightened the grip on her backpack. "I don't want trouble," she said calmly. Dean laughed. For that, Brett and Kyle flanked her, pushing her back gently at first, then more forcefully until her back hit the cold metal of the lockers. "Walk around here like you're better than everyone," Dean said. "Too proud to smile. Too tough to talk. You think you scare us?" Jordan's eyes didn't waver. "No, but maybe you should be scared." Kyle sneered. "What's she gonna do? Lecture us?" Dean leaned in closer. "Maybe she needs a little encouragement." That was it. What happened next was a blur fast, fluid and fierce. As Dean reached to grab her arm, Jordan pivoted her foot, twisted her hips, and with perfect precision, drove her knee up hard into his stomach. Just under the ribs, Dean let out a strangled gasp and dropped to his knees, clutching his midsection. Before Brett could react. She turned and planted her foot firmly in his chest, sending him stumbling backward into Kyle. All three ended up in a heap on the floor, gasping, shocked, and utterly humiliated. Jordan took a deep breath. She didn't run. She didn't scream. She stood tall. Students from a nearby classroom had rushed out, phones already recording. Gasps and murmurs rippled through the hallway. A teacher arrived moments later and separated the crowd. The video hit social media before Jordan even got home. By evening, it had thousands of views. The title read, "Girl floors 3 football players like it's nothing." By Monday, the school was buzzing. Dean was out for the season, bruised ribs. Brett had a sprained wrist. Kyle was just bruised in pride. None of them wanted to press charges. Why? Because the footage was clear. They were the aggressors. Jordan had acted in self-defense, but more than that, she had embarrassed them publicly, and their reputation had taken a hit they couldn't recover from. Jordan was called into the principal's office. She expected suspension, or worse. Instead, Principal Harris shook his head slowly and said, "We've failed you. I'm sorry." Asterisk Jordan blinked. "What?" Asterisk We've allowed this culture to grow. Intimidation, harassment, silence, he admitted, but thanks to you, we can finally do something about it. Asterisk That week, the school launched a new zero-tolerance anti-bullying policy. Student leadership invited Jordan to speak. At first, she declined. But then, she thought about all the other students, the ones who stayed quiet, the ones who flinched when they passed the football team in the hallway. She agreed. On the day of her speech, the gym was packed. Everyone waited for the girl who ended a football season with a knee strike. Asterisk. But Jordan didn't brag. Asterisk She stepped up to the mic and spoke with a calm, steady voice. Asterisk Violence wasn't my first choice. It never is. But when someone corners, when you're pushed up against the wall, you have two choices: fold or stand. I stood. The room was silent. She looked around, meeting eyes. I didn't fight them because I wanted to hurt them. I fought because I had no other option. But now that you're all watching, maybe we can fight differently. Maybe we can speak up when we see bullying. Maybe we can support each other. Instead of being afraid, when she stepped down, the applause was thunderous. Jordan became more than a viral video. She became a symbol of strength and self-respect. Students began reporting incidents more often. The bullies didn't disappear overnight, but they weren't worshipped anymore. Asterisk and Jordan. Asterisk. She stayed the same. Still quiet, still focused. But now students greeted her with respect. Teachers asked her to help with self-defense sessions. She didn't let the attention change her. She only used it to change the school. Asterisk on graduation day, she was awarded the Student Courage Award. Asterisk as she stood on stage. She looked out at the crowd, her father sitting proudly in the front row. He had always told her, being strong isn't about throwing punches. It's about knowing when to stand up and who you're standing up for. She finally understood what he meant. Moral of the story, strength is not about hurting others, about refusing to be broken. Jordan didn't seek revenge. She stood up because no one else would. And in doing so, she reminded everyone, silence may be safe, but courage creates change. Asterisk.